This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, Kentucky Morning Start right here on WKYT. It is August 1st, everybody. Welcome in. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope your August is off to an awesome start. It's hard to believe we're in a new month.
I'm telling you, school starting. Let's make the best of it, right? Now at 6:30, a man accused in a gruesome Lexington murder will return to court today. What's expected inside the courtroom is just ahead this morning.
An officer-involved shooting is under investigation in eastern Kentucky. We'll hear from the victim's family, who's shocked by the incident.
And it is back to school time. A handful of schools get things rolling in just a few hours. Several others will be heading back later this week.
We have a couple of showers back toward eastern Kentucky, but that's about it early this morning. Afternoon, though, look back west. Here comes some thunderstorms. I'll show you when those arrive coming up.
And let's get right to the news on your Monday.
Well, a man accused in a gruesome Lexington murder is back in court this morning.
Patrick Jones is accused of murdering his ex-girlfriend and dismembering her body. WKYT's Mark Barber joins us from our live desk now with a look ahead to today's hearing, what we anticipate in that. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Bill. Patrick Jones will be back in court in 2 hours for a preliminary hearing. So we could hear witnesses testify for the first time in this case today. The last time the 24-year-old was in court, he entered a not guilty plea for his charges of murder, tampering with evidence, and abusing a corpse. Jones was arrested a week and a half ago after pieces of his girlfriend's mutilated body were found in 2 dumpsters along Malibu Drive. Police say Jones killed Haley Bourgeois with a wrench before he dismembered her body. The couple had a child together. Neighbors say while they heard the pair fighting a lot, they never thought something this horrifying, this gruesome would happen. Again, Jones will be standing before a judge in this disturbing case at 8:30 this morning. Of course, we'll be right there in the courtroom, so stay with us here on WKYT as we keep updating the story throughout the morning. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
A man charged with several counts of animal cruelty is scheduled to be arraigned in Mercer County today. Police charged Charles Burrell after many horses were found abandoned on a farm leased by the Burrell family. His daughter and well-known horse trainer Maria Burrell is wanted on the same charges, but police say she's left the state. After weeks of intensive care, the horses are showing signs of progress. But a volunteer caring for the horses says it will likely take more than a year for those horses to make a full recovery.
Family members are continuing to plead for any leads, any information that will help them find the bodies of a missing northern Kentucky couple. Crystal Warner and Bobby Jones were last seen July 3rd at a home in Washington County. State police have charged Craig Pennington with their murders. Friends and family have searched in several areas around the state since the couple disappeared. And lately they've been focusing on Winchester, where they say the couple's car was seen driving around. Jones' sister says the family is planning another large search this weekend. 6:32 on WKYT. The first day of August is off to a dry start. We did have a passing shower in parts of Fayette County earlier this morning, and storms could be firing up later today.
Something we're keeping our eye on, and so is meteorologist Micah Harris breaking down the forecast on this First Alert Severe Weather Day.
Yeah, and we call it a First Alert Severe Weather Day for this case. There's no widespread severe weather. There's no widespread flooding expected. What we're looking at is isolated spots, 1, 2 spots that we could have some flooding problems, just like we've had the past few days. That's going to be the case. So most of us won't have any problems whatsoever. It's just 1 or 2 spots we got to be watching very closely. We have a shower right now rolling across eastern Kentucky. This isn't that big of a deal. Just a brief light shower or even some more moderate heavy downpours as it crosses over 519 in between Moorhead and West Liberty. So if you're about to travel that, just know it's going to be a little bit wet. Other than that, we are dry this morning. There is a front over us, and that is going to allow us to have some scattered showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. You can see the bits and pieces of that energy heading our direction. All this is heading south and southeast. All that won't affect us. It's the piece of energy out ahead of that. It's kind of throwing that energy out toward us. So there is going to be at least a chance later on today. It's hit and miss again. Some will see the rain, some will not. If you do, I do expect some heavy downpours out of this. And it's just, there's not one particular area that I would say has the best chance of rain. However, I would say southeast is more likely not to see rain as opposed to back toward the northwest, places like Shelby County, Franklin County. We're going to get into that in your full forecast. More details coming up in a few minutes.
We'll see you then. We thank you. With less than 100 days now until the elections in America, the 2016 presidential candidates and their running mates are crisscrossing the country right now. And they're really hitting those key battleground states this week. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump continues to face criticism for his apparent attacks on the parents of a Muslim American soldier soldier who died in the Iraq War. The parents appeared at last week's Democratic convention. Meanwhile, Russia continues to be a major topic on the campaign trail, with Democratic claims that Moscow hacked party computers.
A new report shows Kentucky Senator Rand Paul has more than $300,000 in unpaid bills from his failed presidential campaign. According to the Herald Leader, Paul's campaign reported just more than $2,500 in cash as of June 30th. The campaign owes dozens of businesses and individuals for things like rent, phone, and internet access and various legal fees. Paul's campaign spokesperson says all vendors are being paid in the normal flow of a campaign and everyone will be paid in full. Closing down campaigns takes time, as evidenced by other presidential campaigns that are at similar stages of doing so. Paul is currently running for another Senate term against Lexington Mayor Jim Gray.
The cause of a deadly crash in Madison County is under investigation this morning. It happened on Irvin Road near Waco. State police say Douglas Tackett Jr. hit a guardrail, crossed the center lanes, and then rolled several times. Troopers tell us Tackett later died at the hospital.
A deadly officer-involved shooting is under investigation in eastern Kentucky this morning. It happened on Phillips Branch Road in the Phelps community of Pike County. State police say they were responding to a call about an assault, and when they got to the home, they say John Casey assaulted a trooper. Investigators say the trooper then shot and killed Casey. Family members say they never saw the assault.
Oh, yeah, it's something you can't explain. You can't imagine something like that happen. It's just, it hurts you. You don't know how to explain it. You don't know how to get through it.
We're told the trooper was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. Family members say Casey had just served time on a robbery charge and was trying to turn his life around. A golden alert's been issued for a young woman in Oldham County. Police say Caitlin Burchett is currently a ward of the state and was staying in a transitional living facility. They say she suffers from a mild intellectual disability. According to police, Burchett was voluntarily picked up by an unknown man and dropped off in Louisville.
Two young men are facing charges in southeastern Kentucky this morning after deputies say they broke into two schools. Chase Hoskins and Dewey Collette were arrested in Leslie County. Deputies say the two admitted to breaking into Stinnett Elementary and Leslie County Central High to steal money and snacks. Deputies say they were able to use tips from the community to track the men down. Despite the break-ins, school officials say both schools are safe and both are ready for the new school year. It's coming soon.
Speaking of school, it's hard to believe that another summer has come and gone for a lot of students across Kentucky.
Well, a majority of central Kentucky schools don't start back up until around August 10th. A handful of schools are starting back this week, and even one is heading back this morning. WKYT's Mike Byer joining us live from Frankfort on the first day of school there. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Bill. It's hard to believe it's August already, meaning schools around the state are getting set to go back. Frankfort Independent Schools are the first to kick off the new school year. I'm here at 2nd Street School. They're starting today. Frankfort High School as well. And go ahead and throw in Capital City Prep 2. They're all starting this morning. These three schools starting up are just the tip of the iceberg, as many other schools will be heading back in the next few days and weeks to come. Bergen Independent students will start a new school year tomorrow. Estill County students head back on Wednesday, and on Thursday, Barberville, Jackson, and Mercer County students will head back to the classrooms. Now, many districts, including Fayette County, start next week. Also starting next week are the rest of Franklin County schools. They'll be starting on Thursday, August 11th. Live in Franklin County, Mike Byer, WKYT.
The latest installment of the Harry Potter book series by J.K. Rowling is here. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is the script to a London sold-out play, which takes place 19 years after the last book. The previous book in the series, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, was released in 2007. At Joseph Beth Booksellers in Lexington, more than 450 people pre-ordered the book, with several hundreds more purchasing it at midnight when it was released.
They had just come from their wedding. She was in a wedding dress. He was in his tux. She had pre-ordered the book, and she absolutely had to have the book before they went on their honeymoon. So we actually worked it out to where we could get them the book so that we could send them on their way. It was a really cool moment.
So apparently a couple on their way from their wedding went to go get the book. Very dedicated fans there. Even if you didn't pre-order the latest copy of the book, Joseph Beth says the store still has plenty for sale. The latest Harry Potter book has already become the top-selling book of 2016 on Amazon.com.
All right, 6:39 is our time Monday morning, August 1st. Got to get that straight.
Yeah, no longer
go,
July.
Right? Yeah.
Let's get a check of traffic, see how things are moving. And here's Officer Don.
Good morning, Don.
Hey, good morning. We have a crash inbound Richmond at St. Anne. Now, no one's hurt in that wreck. A couple of cars involved. It's blocking the right lane at the moment. Should be cleared before too long. Tate's Creek Road looks great past the circle. There are no problems on the north side. Let's get a quick look outside. We'll show you what's happening with overall traffic flow this morning and trouble-free on Nicholasville Road and Harrodsburg Road. Drive times, you should be okay on the way in for now. Coming in from Nicholasville across the Fayette County line, we're looking good. About 13 minutes from Paris, 20 minutes, and from Richmond across that Clays Ferry Bridge will take about 32. Now back to you in the studio.
Don, thank you so much. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the App or Google Play stores. And then you're informed. Just look at your phone. You can see what is going on out there as you're moving along. And it is 6:40, 20 before 7 on WKYT on your Monday morning. Glad you're with us. A lot more news is on the way.
A Texas toddler showing thanks to the police officer who saved her life by hosting a tea party for two. Aw, the viral story that's sure to leave you smiling coming up.
Left me smiling, I'll give you that. Scattered showers and thunderstorms are possible today. Some will see them, some will not. We're going to go over the timing on this with your hour-by-hour forecast to help you plan out your day. That's coming up next. Got a couple of showers early this morning over toward eastern Kentucky. I'm meteorologist Micah Harris. There's not much going on, and none of this is going to rain out your parade. Nothing like that. 519 traveling from Moorhead to Liberty, or West Liberty, that is. That's where you see one of those showers rolling on through. If it sticks together, Sandy Hook, you're going to be next in line here in about 15 to 20 minutes. Frenchburg getting a brief shower at this moment as it rolls over toward northern portions of Morgan County here in just about 30 minutes. So there's just not much out there. But I will tell you this, a piece of energy back toward the west. Heading our direction, here's noontime. Noontime, there is a small chance of rain. And then as we get deep into the afternoon, it's still very hit and miss. Check it out, dry spot. Dry spot. There are dry spots over toward the east. But yeah, you can see some heavier downpours rolling across central zones. So central, western zones, and northern zones, the best chance during the afternoon to actually see some rumbles of thunder. You work your way down south and southeast, that was 6 p.m. Just not much going on at that time. I would say it's after 6 p.m. to see the best chance during the south and southeast. There's still a small chance during the afternoon, don't get me wrong. But during the evening hours, that's probably your best likelihood. Severe impact. Yeah, it's not very high today. High winds, not there. Hail, not there. Tornadic activity, not a concern. But when you're looking at flooding, it's still not a major concern with me. I mean, we do have that first alert severe weather day, but it's mainly for just like the past few days where most of us did not see rain, but some of us have picked up some rain, and when you do, it's their heavy downpours, and with the flooding like we've had and the ground so saturated, it can become an issue pretty quickly. So that's something to watch out for. Not extremely high on flooding, but nonetheless, there is an isolated spot or two once we travel off towards your afternoon and evening that could become flooded. So ponding there on the roads, we got to be watching out for that. 7-day forecast, it's hit and miss today. And some will see the rain, some will not. We head off towards your Tuesday and Wednesday. It's the same story. Most of us stay dry the next few days. But if you don't, you get under one of those brief heavy downpours and some lightning as well. No widespread severe weather expected any of these days, so there's some good news. But try to make some plans. I would stick to your plans. Just know you can have a passing shower or thunderstorm. Something to schedule into your plans is plan B. So just keep that in mind. They don't last long. They're 30 minutes to about an hour, and then they move on about their day. So for the most part, most of your day will be dry, but we just can't rule out an hour or two where you get one of those rumbles of thunder. We were talking about this the other day. I texted you on Friday a picture of what it looked like here in Lexington. It was crystal blue skies. Beautiful, but just 15, 20 miles south of us into Richmond, I mean, it was pouring. That's exactly, that was the only storm out there on radar.
You even wondered if that verified. You knew I was coming back to go do the evening show.
I know.
Yeah.
It was really weird. Really weird.
It was amazing. It really was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's the way it's going to be the next few days.
All right.
Here and there,
That's
right?
Yeah.
All right.
You're going to be here or there with that rain. Coming up on 6:47 on WKYT.
Well, this is a viral story that's likely to cheer you up on a Monday. That's what we need, right? All the cheering up we can get. Well, a Texas toddler held a tea party with a police officer over the weekend to thank him for saving her life.
How sweet, huh? Wearing his full uniform, Corporal Patrick Ray sat down in a tiny chair at a tiny table, and he enjoyed the party with Bexley Norval. Ray saved the 2-year-old's life a year ago when she choked on a coin at her home in Rowlett. To mark the day, Bexley's mother decided on a photo shoot in the theme of a tea party. And during the photo shoot, the two unlikely friends shared Apple Jacks and Oreos.
Oh,
Ah.
so sweet.
Isn't that great?
I love that. Adorable. Adorable.
Yeah, great action that he did, of course.
Man.
And now her little thank you.
That is great stuff right there.
Good to have you with us on WKYT this morning at 6:47 right now.
More news when we return.
Coming up, results of a new CBS News poll on the post-convention presidential race. Plus, we'll talk with former CIA and NSA Director Michael Hayden about Donald Trump's comments on Russia. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your Monday. It is back to school, actually, for some Kentucky students today. That's just one of the stories making headlines this morning, and Bill has a look at what else is trending right now on the web.
Well, we will be in a Lexington courtroom at 8:30 this morning when a man accused in a gruesome murder in South Lexington will be facing a judge. We'll have those details on WKYT.com. Police say Patrick Jones killed his ex-girlfriend last month, then dismembered the young mother's body. Mark Barber will be live tweeting from the courtroom today during Jones's preliminary hearing. Many of you are checking out our story about a man who drowned in a pond at Lexington Cemetery. You can read our full report on that right now on WKYT.com. With a new school year upon us, there's a lot of talk about what to name Lexington's newest high school. It will open next fall. Check out some of the names being mentioned on WKYT.com. And this is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Be sure to download the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app so you can be in the know as to what is about to happen out there. Rebecca?
Thank you, sir. An Ohio man accused of plotting to attack the U.S. Capitol in support of the Islamic State group is due in court today for a change of plea hearing. And this is what is happening with this story. 22-year-old Christopher Lee Cornell has pleaded not guilty to charges stemming from his January arrest in last year. A change of plea hearing notice was filed on Friday in federal court in Cincinnati. Such notices often signal plans to plead guilty. 300 extra firefighters have been sent in to battle a raging wildfire out in California. They were deployed over the weekend to join about 5,000 others fighting the fire in Monterey County. The fire has charred about 40,000 acres since it broke out more than a week ago. Firefighters say it's currently 18% contained. It's threatening some 2,000 structures, and several communities have been evacuated because of it. Officials are still investigating what started this fire. Today, the cleanup begins after devastating flash flooding in Ellicott City, Maryland, that killed at least 2 people. Nearly 6 inches of rain fell in just 2 hours on Saturday night, causing the nearby river to rise 13 feet in just a few hours. Hannah Daniels has the latest.
Rushing floodwaters transformed Ellicott City's Main Street into a raging river. Maryland's governor says it's going to take months for this historic city to recover. The floodwaters swept away dozens of cars. Stories of strangers helping strangers are emerging. This video was taken as people formed a human chain to help this woman from being washed away in her vehicle.
Insane, and it was a flash flood, and I literally came here. I thought we were going to have dinner within 5 minutes. It was panic, and my friend was pulling someone out of there, and I've never seen anything like it.
As daylight came Sunday, emergency officials toured the damage. Trees inside businesses, wrecked storefronts, roads, and sidewalks ripped to shreds. Hannah Daniels, CBS News.
What a mess there. The governor has declared a state of emergency for the town. The cost of damage to the downtown district could be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Quite a mess.
Yeah.
Well, another mess, a foul-smelling plant finally blooming at the New York Botanic Gardens in New York City.
It smelled like vomit. What a dog leaves behind.
Horrible. Garbage. More like even worse than garbage.
Some of the descriptions there. The so-called corpse flower was in bloom over the weekend after more than 10 years of growth. It's one of the largest flowers on Earth, and it can reach 6 feet in height. The bloom at its peak only lasts 24 to 36 hours, and it could be years before the flower will ever bloom again. Well, some concerned witnesses called police after seeing a group of heavily armed men in body armor outside of a Lexington Walmart. The Herald Leader says 3 men and a 6-month-old baby were in a car outside the store on Richmond Road. They reportedly told police that they were preparing for doomsday and needed supplies. Police say the men were not doing anything criminal and their weapons were legally owned. Police in Wayne County, West Virginia say they were called to a Walmart after a car crashed right into it. It wasn't a typical crash scene, though. Police say 2 dogs were in the car behind the wheel. The woman who owns the car left it running while she ran inside, and the dogs somehow managed to knock the car out of park. The car started rolling toward a woman who jumped out of the way and then hit the edge of the building. Neither dog was injured, by the way, in that crash. Police say the building, though, does have some minor damage. So there's an issue. Don't leave the dogs unattended, in a running car especially, right?
I know I'm certain the doggies are okay.
Yeah, there you go. All right, 6:55 is our time this morning.
Let's check in with Micah for a final look at our weather.
Yeah, we have a couple of showers back toward eastern Kentucky, but that's about it. Really got to be watching westbound because that's where a storm complex is going to be heading our direction. And when it does, it'll throw off a piece of energy off into our region later on today. There's 1 p.m., so I'd say roughly noontime you could see a couple of showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder, but it's really afternoon. You get into the afternoon, it is hit and miss. You can see that across central, northern zones. Here's 3 p.m., and still some of us are dry. So watch this as we head off towards your evening hours. Well, here comes another piece. It's heading our way. So that's just going to be the case as we travel throughout the rest of the day, guys. This hit and miss again today, and some of us will deal with some heavy downpours. Some of us will not. That's just the way it's been going the past few days, and it looks like that trend is going to continue today. So just heads up for that. The main thing we're looking at with that first alert severe weather day that we have today, if there was a scale, if we did 1 to 10 scale on first alert severe weather days, this would be more like a 2 or 3, just saying watch out for an isolated spot here or there. No widespread weather, no widespread flooding. Just watch out for isolated spots that could cause some problems later on.
Okay. Otherwise, sunshine here and there. Right?
Otherwise, it looks pretty good.
Okay. Hey, nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thanks for being with us here on August 1st.
Have a great day.